If you need heart surgery, are you going to go to a primary care physician or are you going to go to a heart surgeon? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video, except we're going to talk about roofing specialists versus general contractors. And if you're looking to replace your residential roof in New Jersey, this video is something you're going to want to pay attention to. What is a roofing specialist? A roofing specialist is a contractor who only does the type of roofing that you're looking to have done. That means if you have a home and you're looking to have shingles replaced on your roof, you want to hire a contractor that only does residential roofing, architectural shingles. That's their specialty. Not a roofing contractor who also does commercial roofing, or not a slate roofing contractor who also does shingles. Okay, you want a specialist, someone that has all their systems dialed in, that every single day they're doing the exact same thing. They have the same crews, they go to the same supply house, they have the same project managers on the same exact projects every single day, and that's all they do day in and day out. They're doing thousands of these roofs compared to a contractor who maybe just does asphalt shingles once in a while. Who do you think is going to have their systems dialed in better? A guy that's doing it over and over and over again compared to a guy that does it every once in a while. So what is a general contractor? Well, general contractor is a contractor who promotes and markets that they can do a little bit of everything. They can do roofing, windows, siding, gutters, decking, baths, full kitchen remodels. I mean, we see it all. Some of them even can do driveways. I mean, we have guys that say they can do everything. And I'm not saying these contractors are bad. So don't take this video that way. I'm not here to bash general contractors. I'm here to give homeowners a perspective on a specialist versus general contractors so you can make the decision when you're hiring a contractor for your home. And this is something that I had to learn myself when getting work done around my own home and having rehab 24 homes. You know, I learned a lot by knowing what contractor I should be hiring for the service I'm looking for. Yes, you could hire a general contractor to rehab your entire home. Okay, but they don't know how to do every single service. They have to sub out to each specific service because it's so different. The crews are different, the foremans are different, the systems are different, the processes are different, the wait times are different, the installation times are different, the warranties are different. Everything is different. You know, every service that you look at, windows, siding, gutters, doors, driveways, kitchens, baths, they're like their own individual businesses inside of one business. Okay, so a general contractor promotes and markets that they can do all these things, and maybe they can. Maybe they're really good at one of those things, but you're really not going to know. Now, you could ask them, and we'll go through some of the questions at the end of what you should be asking to try to qualify the contractor to see what they're really good at. And sometimes it's hard to find out. I mean, you know, if they're pitching you a new roof, they may tell you, oh, 90% of our work is roofs. Are you really going to know? They're not opening up their books. You're not going to really know, you know, but if they're just a roofing contractor, a roofing specialist like Teddy Roofing, we only market that we do roofs. That's it. Roof repairs and roof replacements. We do nothing else. And we specialize in asphalt roofs specifically for homes. Okay. That's the other thing. You know, you have a lot of different roofing contractors out there. So it's not just a specialist versus a general contractor. It's a roofing specialist that specializes in the type of roof you're looking for. So what does that mean? That means if you want a slate roof and you're in New Jersey, well, you want to hire a contractor that's doing slate roofing every single day. They have crews that are specially trained that are doing this day in and day out. They're on a slate roof for 6 to 8 weeks installing a new roof, and that's all they do. They do a dozen of them, maybe 20 of them a year, and that's it. They specialize in slate roofs. Now, could they do an asphalt roof? Yeah, they could. They probably have a crew they know they could sub it out to or send a crew out there. But think about it. If they're specializing in slate and that's what they're really known for, how good are they going to be on putting on an asphalt roof? Compared to a contractor like us, what all we do is asphalt roofs for residential homes in New Jersey. We're not from out of market. That's the other thing you got to look out for. Is the contractor local, right? Because if they're not local and they're coming from out of state, do they understand the weather here in New Jersey? Do they understand the proper installation process in New Jersey? Probably not. So you definitely want to make sure your contractor is local, and you want to make sure that they're specialized in the type of roofing that you're looking to have done. If you want cedar shake on your roof and you live in a multi-million-dollar home and that's what you want to put on your roof, Hire the contractor that does cedar shake roofs all day, every day. Not the guy that says he can do it and he has a subcontractor that he subs it out to once in a blue moon, and he has a project manager who has no idea what they're looking at. That's not the contractor you want to hire when spending that kind of money. There are plenty of roofing contractors out there to choose from, and there are specialists in each one of these types of roofs. And just like there's commercial roofing contractors, well, if you have a commercial property, would you want to hire a guy that mostly does residential, but he knows a guy who could do commercial, so he sends a crew out there to do your commercial roof? No. You want a commercial roofing contractor, a guy that does only commercial roofs all day, every day, not a guy who says he can do commercial roofs. Now, let's look at the other side of the coin. There are some pros to hiring a general contractor, and here's what I hear most out in the field. Well, I really want my roof and my siding done, so I want to hire a guy that can handle it all. And you know what? I understand that. It makes sense, right? As a homeowner, it's like, hey, less friction. I deal with one guy. I don't have to worry about multiple contractors, multiple bids. And I understand that. It's the easy button. But think about it, guys. In life, easy way is not usually the best way. It's like everything in life. There's always an easy way and a hard way. And usually if you take the hard way, the upside is a lot higher as opposed to taking the easy way, right? You don't really get rewarded as much if you go the easy route. That's really how life works. Well, it's the same way when hiring a contractor. And I understand completely. I mean, I had work done in my house not that long ago where I had a painter in the house. He looked at my bathroom. He's like, hey, I could do the tile work here too. It's a small job, whatever. I'm like, all right, you know what? The guy's already here. I don't want to call another tile guy. Well, he did the tile and the paint. The paint was excellent. The tile, not so much. So now I had to hire another guy to come in, rip it out, and redo the tile work because it was that bad. But I tried to hit the easy button. Well, that's what a lot of homeowners try to do. They try to hit the easy button when it comes to these big, massive projects, roofing, siding, windows, doors. These are huge projects. Okay, this is not like, hey, I'm just going to do this small little handyman project and I have one guy handle all of it. No, this is a massive project. You're dealing with a roof. A roof is made up of 7 components. It's not just shingles. You don't want just anybody throwing on a roofing system when they're not typically putting on that type of roofing system. So I understand the pro of hiring a general contractor. And again, I'm not trying to bash all general contractors because there's tons of good general contractors out there. So let's go through some questions that you can ask the contractor when you're evaluating them to making the decision of which contractor you should hire. What type of material are your crews installing every single day? Do you guys specialize in asphalt shingles if that's the type of shingle you're looking to have done? And if they say yes, okay, great. What other services do you offer? Well, we do roofing, siding, windows, decking. Okay, well, what percentage of your jobs are roofing? Well, if they tell you it's 50%, well, think about it. Half the time they're doing roofs, half the time they're doing decking. That means their crews are only half the time are doing roofs, as opposed to hiring a contractor like us. Our crews are only doing roofs, only doing asphalt shingles every single day, all day. We don't do decking, we don't do siding, we don't do windows, we don't do doors. We only do asphalt shingles every single day. The next thing you want to ask the contractor is, do you specialize in residential roofing? This is important. Again, if they tell you, well, we do residential and commercial. Well, same thing. How much of your business is residential compared to commercial? And then you decide, do you want a contractor who half the time does residential, half does commercial, or 70-30, or whatever the split may be? Or maybe he's going to tell you, well, most of our jobs are commercial. We do some residential work. Well, that's a red flag in my opinion. You want to stay away from that contractor. And again, I'm not saying all contractors that do this are bad, because contractors can offer multiple services, but think about the contractor who's a specialist. Same thing, going back to the beginning. Do you want to hire a general physician to do your heart surgery, or do you want to hire a heart surgeon? And lastly, here's another question. Ask them, what type of material do you specialize in? This is important because, again, if you have a contractor that's doing asphalt shingles every day, day in and day out, compared to a guy that does mostly slate or cedar shake or metal, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, well, we can do asphalt too. It's not really it's not ideal. And to be totally honest, a lot of contractors that do those higher end materials that install metal, cedar shake, slate, they don't really want to touch asphalt shingles because the profit margins aren't as big. They have higher profits because it's higher ticket. They maybe put a metal roof on that's 80 grand versus a shingle roof that's 30. Well, what do you think they want to do? They want to do the metal roof. So yeah, if you call them for an asphalt shingle roof, they'll tell you they can do it, but that's not really their sweet spot. That's not their bread and butter. So are they going to do the best possible job? And that's what you have to question. I hope this video was helpful. I hope this helps you make the determination of what type of contractor you should hire and what type of questions you should be asking before you make your decision. If you have any questions in reference to asphalt shingles in New Jersey, you could call or text Teddy Roofing anytime, 908-617-1544.